Here's a fact that will change how you see African history forever. The Mali Empire, under Manso Musa in the 14th century, was the richest civilization on earth. His wealth adjusted for inflation would make today's billionaires look poor. Yet most history books reduce Africa to slavery and colonialism. Why? Because for centuries, African history was told by everyone but Africans. That's changing now, thanks to a wave of podcasts made by Africans, for Africans, and for the world. Let's dive in. The Pan-African Podcast Revolution. Imagine a history podcast that doesn't stop at national borders. Afriwetu does exactly that, connecting kingdoms from Seychelles to Western Sahara. Hosted by Pan-African creators, it treats African history as what it always was, a web of interconnected empires, trade routes, and cultures. Take the Songhai Empire of the 15th century. While Europe was in its so-called Dark Ages, Songhai's capital Timbuktu had universities with thousands of manuscripts. Afriwetu brings these stories to life, not as isolated events, but as part of a continental tapestry. Uganda's Forgotten Women. Now let's zoom in. While most history podcasts focus on kings and warriors, Wulira does something radical. It tells Uganda's history through the lives of its women. Like Nambi, the goddess in Buganda mythology who defied the gods to bring agriculture to humanity. Or the 19th century Queen Mother Namaso, who wielded real political power behind the throne. These aren't just stories, they're correctives to the male-dominated narratives that dominate even African history. Music as living history. Here's how Afropop worldwide cracks open history in a way no textbook can. The show traces how the rhythms of the Mali Empire's griots evolved into modern West African blues. How Congolese rumba carried the memory of resistance through colonial times. When you hear these connections, you realize music isn't just entertainment, it's a living archive. Why does this all matter today? Because history shapes identity. When African children learn their ancestors built universities while Europe struggled through plagues, it changes everything. When women see their foremothers as leaders, not just victims, it fuels modern movements. These podcasts aren't just about the past, they are tools for the future. So next time you hear African history, ask yourself, whose version are you getting? The colonial one that starts with slavery? Or the rich, complex truth that Africans are now telling on their own terms?